Today is Thursday, February the 21st. I'm going to start off with the 15-minute charts because that's what I was looking at today. When the market started to drop, I was looking to take off some profit that I had made in the last 10 days on some stocks like Caterpillar, had a close eye on Intel as well, and Apple. And on Apple, some of my short puts were doing okay, so I wanted to roll some, which I did yesterday, and get out of some. So I bagged whatever profit I had today. They were going to close tomorrow. But here's the 15-minute chart for the S&P 500. Let me blow it up. And I want to point out right here where the Chiku span, see, we went through the cloud. We had resistance of the cloud on the 15-minute, and that's always a red flag. So you go back to the Chiku span, and it was getting support, and then it dropped down here for resistance. So that's when I thought, I'm going to take a look at and maybe bail on some stuff. Turns out it didn't go any lower for the day, but I'm still glad that I bailed when I did. I'm going to come back and we'll look at the daily charts in a second. Apple. We talk about how candles find their way through the weakest point in a cloud where it's very thin. Well, look what the Chiku span did. Where did it go through? It went exactly through the very weakest part of this cloud where the span A and the span B are flipped over. So span B is now on top, span A is on the bottom. That's why it's red. When span A goes over, which is a shorter term average, when it goes over span B, which is a longer term average, you get the change to yellow. Then we went up and we found support on the 15-minute, and then it popped up a little bit at the end of the day. So the 15-minute was the chart that was telling for the day. This end of day buying was just people covering their shorts. I am sure of that. GDX, which we've been following on the 15-minute chart, didn't tell us anything. Caterpillar's 15-minute chart told us something. Right here is, even though there was a bounce, I was looking at the overall market and I decided to get out of half of my positions in Caterpillar. And there was some profit there, so I wasn't going to lose that. Look back on the Chiku span, and the Chiku got support on the 200-day moving average and bounced off of that at the same time as we had this candle here moving into this one, which was support on the cloud, and then loss on the cloud. So I'm going to be looking tomorrow at possibly weakness in Caterpillar. Intel Corporation, I didn't do anything with Intel. I'm still holding on to 3/4 of a position, full position in Intel. The daily chart is going to tell me what to do there. WDC was uneventful. Well, it was down $1.41, but the 15-minute chart didn't tell us very much. So just in summary now for the day, the S&P 500, the Chiku span is coming back down to the cloud, and we're going to look for support. So we're just going to set an alert right there, create an alert at the top of the cloud. Let's move it down and be just a little bit more accurate. And we're going to look for the Chiku span to bounce off of the top of the cloud. If it doesn't, then we have to be careful. Remember the weekly. We popped up over the weekly last week, this week rather, and we are still above it, but it remains to be seen if we're going to get support or pop a little bit higher. Apple on the daily, still doing nothing in the cloud. The gaps above and below are still what we're looking at on a daily basis. GDX, a little bit of a pullback, not totally unexpected because we had 3 pretty impressive days. Now we have a new gap in here, and in Motive Wave, I'm going to use this support zone tool, and I'm just going to do this and keep an eye on that gap. Caterpillar, still an upward trending stock. Just going to take a look at it tomorrow, but I did get out of some. I'll buy back again when price closes above yesterday's candle, and it means we're resuming our climb back up to completion of this Gartley. Intel Corporation, still a buy. We're just channeling here, and let's wait and see what comes out of the channel. So let's start drawing that channel right in here. And let's see how long we stay in this channel of about 90 cents. Let's say $1. And WDC dropped out of the gap. So again, this isn't good news for WDC. This gap going back to October, rejected here, rejected here, rejected here. It looks like we're getting rejection again. They did declare a dividend on Friday, 50 cents. And the dividend expiry date is March the 28th. So we have a long time to go. That's it for today.